Hello, good evening, good morning, uh, good afternoon, depending on whatever part of the world that you are watching us from. Today is another exciting day. We've just started. Is the Since we since on Monday we started our webinar. It's been explosive. It's been awesome. Today is going to be. I, I tell you, it's going to be very very powerful. We have somebody very special, an erudite scholar. We have the grammar king himself. The grammar king himself. We have the lecturer in University of Port Harcourt and also a public speaking coach. We're speaking to us a very special topic on how to turn your passion into profit. And then he'll be sharing with us his own personal story on how he discovered his own public speaking niche, potential. So this is something that I promise you, I bet you can afford to meet. So sit back as we welcome the grammar king, Dr. As it's popularly called, Dr. Mazi Eze. You're welcome, Dr. Mazi Eze. Thank you. Yeah, so you have
Th-
the floor now.
Okay, Fred, you're a great man. Thank you very much for inviting me. As you can see, I'm all smiles because once something has to do with public speaking, I am super excited. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Mazi Eze, popularly known as M.E. Mazi Eze. You know, oftentimes people call me, add the title GCFR. And for information, GCFR means Grammar Commander of the Federal Republic. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, don't mind me. In this public speaking business, you need to be so very humorous. You need to be humorous at expected moments and at unexpected moments. Why? Humor is a spoonful of medicine that makes the bitter a spoonful of chloroquine, let me say, a spoonful of chloroquine that makes the medicine to go down the throat. You know, when you want to tell the truth, laughing, when you want to tell the truth, that hurts, that heals, you can add humor to it. That essentially is what public speaking is all about. Let me say first off that in public speaking, you need to have what we call the IICC mentality. IICC mentality. These are things that have helped me to get to where I am now. And oftentimes people say, where are you? The level you're operating at, is that your zenith? Is that the level, the highest level you can ever attain in public speaking? I say, no, it's not at all. I am a moving train. I am a positive accident waiting to happen in the face of the world, if you understand what I mean. Okay, so that's just for introduction. Let's run slap into the activity for the day. Turning your passion into profit. Passion into profit. P into P. How do you do that? You know, you use public speaking and then begin to practice your passion and then you begin to profit therefrom. That's what will keep us preoccupied tonight. And let me start with a story. I have about 3 things to submit to you that will enable you to move from where you are now to where you want to be as far as public speaking is concerned. I didn't tell you that I'm not just a grammar coach, I am a public speaking coach. I do not only preach public speaking, I practice it. So I'm not a theorist only. I'm not a theoretician only. I am a practitioner. You understand what I mean? I have a book here. You can see it, Public Speaking Nuggets. Let me bring it close. Okay, even the backdrop, you can see that it's Public Speaking Academy that I use as the backdrop. So what it means that everything about me smells, has the aroma, has the, what other word now can I use? Has the aroma. What's this? If you wear a perfume, what's the word now? Come on, help me, a lady, a gentleman there. Okay, the smell of public speaking is all around me. I eat it, I sleep it, I wine with it. When I wake up, public speaking is there. But I didn't start as an effective public speaker. I remember once upon a time when I was laughed off the stage and I vowed never to speak again in any gathering. How did it happen? I was a regular member of the Boys Brigade Nigeria, the is it 52nd Oyibo Battalion then. So one day our brigade commander just came and said, "You come and share with us a word of exhortation." Okay, I collected my Bible, opened to a particular verse. I can't remember the verse now. I read the verse of scripture and I looked up. I mean, that day there were just about 20 or so regular brigade members present. But immediately I looked up and my eyes made contact with their various eyes. What I saw was a sea of heads. What I saw was a million eyes looking at me. I blanked out. I looked at them, I could see a million people. I looked down at the verse of scripture, I read it again, I looked up again. They were staring at me. I looked down again, read the verse of scripture, and then one boy at the back, we don't hear him now, talk now. And that's, I couldn't say a thing again. I was looking at them and they were laughing at me. They laughed me to scorn. Tears welled up in my eyes. I closed this verse of scripture, and as I was leaving the stage, I was also leaving the hall. I ran from there all the way home crying. And when I got home, my mom said, "What's it?" I said, "I will never talk to anybody again. Never, ever." That was the beginning of my public speaking journey. But at that point in time, I became what we call glossophobic. Glossophobia is the irrational fear of public speaking. Look at, that's my pet definition. So if there is an irrational fear, it also means that there is a rational fear. Do you understand it? So I became glossophobic because of that one nasty experience. I went home and said, "I'm not going to do any other thing." And believe me, I kid you not, that thing robbed me a whole lot of opportunities to make a mark in my generation. For example, when I was in SS2, they were appointing people into various posts in the school, and they made me the senior prefect. But because I had already vowed 2 years ago when I was in JS3, was it no JS3? Yeah, JS3. That's when the thing happened. I had already vowed that I would never stand before a crowd to talk. So when they made me the SP of the school, one secondary school in Oyibo, I declined. I said, "No, I'm not going to be the MC." They talked and talked and talked. The principal, I remember, flogged me, shege, as we say in Port Harcourt. He flogged living daylights out of me. You know, when somebody punches you in the eye, you see cray cray stars. Those are living daylights. But even beyond the flogging, after flogging me, that was not even enough to compel me to come and become the MC, the SP rather, senior prefect, because my projection was that if I am the SP, I'm going to stand before a crowd to address students on a regular basis. So I just freaked out. I said, "No, not again." Now, what's the point here? Fear of public speaking, especially the irrational fear of public speaking, will make you to lose a whole lot of opportunities. Take it from me, I'm talking from both vicarious and personal experiences. Personally, it happened to me. Vicarious, it happened to people around me. And I learned a trailer load of lessons from what happened to them. So that's the very first point I need you to hold on to. You need to kill glossophobia, or glossophobia will kill you. I'll say it again. Kill glossophobia, or glossophobia will kill you. And what's glossophobia? The irrational fear of standing before any public to talk. That's glossophobia. Now that's irrational. So what is the rational part of the game? The rational part of the coin that I'm going to talk about, and I will urge it on you, don't be afraid to be afraid. You don't understand me. Stage fright is natural. Stage fright is rational. Stage fright is okay. Stage fright is normal. That's rational fear. You just get up to a stage to talk to any audience, and there are butterflies fluttering in your belly. Your belly all of a sudden ties into small, small knots. And the next, your hands begin to quake and shiver and tremble. And then your voice begins to echo. You can hear the echo. Nobody's hearing it. Only you are hearing the echo of your voice. And then your voice goes dim. It begins to constrict. Fear eats up your vocal cords. Whatever you're saying, nobody hears it again. That is stage fright. Its elder brother is mic fright. Mic fright is also called microphobia. Microphobia is the rational fear of handling the microphone. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome somebody who is a duper duper speaker, an excellent motivational transformational speaker, someone who will talk and then the hairs on your hair will stand. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Dr. Mazi Eze. Hey, and then the round of applause comes. Everybody is applauding and you climb the stage. Nothing happens. You collect the microphone. As soon as you hold the microphone, your hands begin to shiver. If immediately your hands begin to shiver, it gets to your voice. Immediately it gets to your voice, it gets to your legs. That is microphobia. Microphobia is the twin brother of stage fright. Two of them are okay. Two of them are rational. Don't be afraid of microphobia or stage fright. Well, let me confess, true confession. I'm a public speaking coach, right? I teach it every day. I'm a professional master of ceremonies. So I practice it every day. I am a lecturer. I lecture undergraduates, that's from year one to final year. I lecture master students. I lecture PhD. I lecture part-time. So forever, I am standing in front of so many individuals. But take this from me, true confession. I still have bouts of stage fright and microphobia assaulting me once and the repeated time. I'll tell you this. Last year, I was invited somewhere in Onitsha, youth gathering, so many youths, an international youth conference. And then they just hyped me and then mentioned my name and dropped the mic. I walked up the stage amidst a standing ovation. As soon as I got the microphone, ladies and gentlemen, my hands began to quake. Ladies and gentlemen, twin brothers afflicted me right there in front of a whole public. The whole world was watching. And that's one of the things I'm going to suggest strongly to you. Once you get afflicted by stage fright or the elder brother, which is microphobia, if they hit you, hit back. How do you hit back? Let me say this, and then I'll run slap into 1, 2, 3 points that I just want to talk about. But I will carry all the points I want to make with stories. Why? Chinua Achebe said the story is our escort. Without the story, we are blind and we are lost. I line up behind what Chinua Achebe has said. The story is our escort. Without the story, we are lost and we are blind. So that's why I usually will suggest a point to you and tell you a story to nail home that point, mention another point, tell a story, mention another point, tell a story. Ladies and gentlemen, you may forget all the points I mentioned, but you never can forget the stories I told to push across those points. That's how powerful storytelling is. Now, what was I saying? During that International Youth Conference convention that I was invited to speak, as soon as I noticed that stage fright had afflicted me, as soon as I noticed that microphobia had attacked me, I decided to launch an attack back. What's the best way to handle such and launch an attack at those twin brothers? One thing, hold the microphone, don't speak yet. Make eye contact with your audience. If your audience are seated around like this, look from here, left, and then wear a smile. You know, ladies and gentlemen, a smile is contagious. A smile is infectious. If you smile, the world smiles with you. But if you frown, you're on your own. I hope you understand. Hey! Okay, so that's one major way to hit back at stage fright. Once it afflicts you right there on stage in the eye of the public, look around, make eye contact, start from here. And as you're looking around, you are wearing a smile. And as you're smiling, bet me the whole atmosphere is charged. They are smiling back at you. And when you would have completed the circle or semicircle, as the case may be, it depends on which areas the audience members are seated. Once you complete it, the next thing you should do is to greet them, offer them a greeting. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, because you took them by surprise. Remember, you were smiling and they were smiling. And there are two major things that a smile does. Number one, it immediately establishes a connection between you, the speaker, and the audience. They say, oh, this guy is likable. So immediately they like you. If there are some prejudices and biases that they held before they came, a smile will just disarm them and then make you have a strong connection with your audience immediately. That's one. Then number two, a smile breaks the ice, even in a formal meeting. But let me warn you, don't go to a funeral and then begin to smile. Don't practice this if it's a funeral. A funeral is the burial of someone. If you smile, it is out of place. We'll be talking about the ACC of consciousness. Don't just go anywhere. Stay cool, but don't freeze. Okay, so that's what I did. I usually will look around and then the next, I will thunder with a voice. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You caught them by surprise. Not all of them will respond immediately. So one or two will respond and then say it again louder. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I said, good afternoon. They will reply. He said, if you like the fact that I'm here, can you celebrate me with another round of applause? Make it louder. As you are doing this, you are psyching yourself up. They don't know that it is your demon slayer you're putting on display. You want to slay the demons of stage fright. And what's the other one? Can you remember? Microphobia or mic fright. So by the time they would have shouted and made the noise and caught the excitement, the electrifying atmosphere is charged. You yourself, your public speaking batteries are also charged and you're good to go. So that's one way to hit back at stage fright. Now, how did I discover this? I've almost always loved to talk. I've always, see, my pet, what's it called now? Vocations, even when I was small, I used to tell my dad that I would want to be a lawyer. And he said, why? I say, why? Number one, I want to help people to win their cases. Then number two, I want to talk. I want to be going to court every day and be talking. My father told me this before he passed on about 7 or so years ago. He said, when you were small, you were almost, in fact, everything to you was a pulpit. You see a little chair, you carry it and then you stand up on and then you say, praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, everybody. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So it was only when I got into the university. Remember that I told you that when I was in secondary school, listen, I was glossophobic. I freaked out. I wasn't the SP of my school eventually. So many public speaking opportunities that came my way, I couldn't grab them because I was afraid of being laughed at. But I got into University of Port Harcourt in my year one. In my year one, I read a book, the something about positive thinking. I think it's Norman Vincent Peale. Something about positive thinking. I finished reading that, and then I read another one by what's the okay, don't worry. And when I remember, I'll tell you. But one thing that happened to me when I finished reading the book, I began to have another idea, the power of positive thinking. Yes, I have remembered the book, Think Big by Ben Carson. I read Ben Carson's Think Big. Boop, everything about me exploded. Then people used to tell me that I had big eyes. And then it used to make me have a low self-esteem. Some people will usually in secondary school, when we are throwing jabs at one another, or yabis as we call it, some of them will say, see you, your teeth, no white. See like this. Now this milky, or do you say milkish? Yeah, milkish, that's the color. So when they said it, I used to feel terrible. But in year one, I went home on holiday and then I looked at my mother and she smiled. I looked at her eyes, they were puffy, hooded. And then I looked at the teeth. So I took the features from my mother. So from right there and then I said, I'm going to turn around my life by myself. Then when they tell me that your eyes are big, I will say they are not big, they are puffy and dreamy. Do you understand? When they tell me your teeth are not white, I say it is milkish and it's natural. And then when they tell me, they used to say it a lot. They say it's a commodity and your head small. Oh my goodness. And when they said it, I used to suffer from low self-esteem. Your head small. So when I read the power of positive thinking and then think big, I began to think big. I began to say, see, this head is small, but it contains something. Your own is big like the number 0. Big, but empty. Do you understand? So I was not just a receiver of the jabs and the insults. If you give it to me 50, I give you back 50. That was in my year one. So I cultivated a very high self-esteem. Wow, the head you're talking about that is small. Yes, it's better to be one than to be zero. One is like leper. Zero is very, very big, but empty, nothing inside. So would you rather have a zero of a head or one of a head? So that helped to build my self-esteem. And then I began to talk. In class, I began to practice number 2 point I'm going to make. Ladies and gentlemen, how I discovered my public speaking potential was I began to submit to mentorship. Submit to mentorship. There are people who already are in the business of public speaking before you. There is nothing new under the sun. That's what Ecclesiastes says. You are not the first person. Submit to mentorship. In this time and age that you have, was it the cyberspace, internet? So just click any topic you're looking for in public speaking, you will have 1,001 articles show up. Both articles, read up and catch up. Podcasts, listen up and catch up. Videos, watch out and catch up. That is virtual mentors. And also submit to physical mentors. So that's point, very critical point. Submit to mentorship. That's how you're going to discover further your public speaking potential. By the time you are listening to people, so this guy talks well, I can talk like this guy. I can talk like this guy. I can talk like this guy. Oh, this guy is making sense. So that's how you polish your public speaking potentials. If you discover and then you begin to polish, from polishing it, you begin to practice. And that's why I'm going to move over to number 3 point. And number 3 point, ladies and gentlemen, is practice the IICC of public speaking. What's IICC? The first I, be intentional. The second I, be intonational. The next C, be conscious. And the last C, be cautious. So intentional, intonational, cautious, and conscious. Let's break them down now. Be intentional. What does it mean to be intentional? You make up your mind what you want to say before you say anything. Listen, public speaking has so many dimensions, but there are major aims in public speaking. Your aim could be number one, to educate your audience. Number two, it could be to sensitize your audience. Number three, it could be to inform. Number four, it could be just to entertain. That's where Basket Mouth, AY, and Alibaba and the others come in. They use public speaking. Comedy is public speaking, by the way. Yes, it is. Stand-up comedy, any brand of comedy you can think of, that is intentional public speaking. So you could use, if your aim is to entertain, go ahead, be intentional about that. If your aim is not to entertain, but your aim is to, let's say, sensitize or conscientize, but the bottom line is that you should rouse your audience to take positive action. I'll say it again. Your intention, that's intentional. Your aim, your underpinning objective should be to rouse an audience to take action on what you're saying. If you're a teacher is a public speaker. A preacher is a public speaker. Motivational speaker, you're a public speaker. Somebody who is presenting an address presented by XYZ, you are a public speaker. You know, sometimes I listen to some profs deliver inaugural lectures and I weep. Do you know why I weep? Listen to inaugural lectures presented by profs in American universities or British universities. You will see how engaging and lively they are. But go to anyone that is presented in Nigeria, so very dry, drab, monotonous, prosaic. People are just talking. They just want to get what they want to get out of the way. Something that is on the slide, you're reading it again. What are you reading? So the point is that that person who is reading is not intentional. Listen, I always say this. If I were given an announcement to make in church or in any organization, that making of the announcement is public speaking. Hear me and hear me well. That's public speaking. If you are not intentional, you may just come there and then, ladies and gentlemen, listen to the following announcement. XYZ. Nobody's listening. Give it to me. I will ensure that everybody eats from the palm of my hand. That particular thing. Because why? My aim is to rouse that audience to take action on what I'm saying. So today, ladies and gentlemen, kill that idea that public speaking is just about hello, sorry. A call came in. Very, very sorry about that. Okay, so I was saying that you need to be intentional. Make up your mind that I'm going to give a speech. If you are a teacher, come on, I'm the grammar king. What do I mean by grammar king? If you are a teacher, what do you do as a teacher? Come on, I'm the grammar king. Anoko GCFR for nothing, Grammar Commander of the Federal Republic. If I enter and teach you grammar and your life remains the same, I'll tear my teaching certificates. That's what I usually tell my students. Oh yeah, I make bold to say it. Somebody will say you're bragging. Yes, I am bragging because in public speaking, you need to have what we call bragging rights. Listen, we have dogs' rights, we have children's rights, we have so many fundamental human rights. In public speaking, we have what we call bragging rights. We have boasting rights. If a country can have hosting rights when it comes to Olympics or football competition, they have hosting rights. Every public speaker should cultivate what we call bragging rights mentality. And that's why when you're talking, you are so very prim and proper and then calm and collected and reserved. You are not down by what you. Don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody say you cannot do this. I can do it. Bring it on. That's my attitude. Okay, so remember we are talking about the IICC of public speaking. I is intentional. What's your intention? If your intention is to make an audience to take action, arouse them to take that action. If your intention is to make an audience to grab bits of information, you need to inform them, do that. You want to conscientize, you need to sensitize. Martin Luther King was a dope public speaker. Listen, if he talks to you, apostle of non-violence, but he so sensitizes you that you want to say, okay, let us go and tell these people enough is enough, enough of the nonsense. Okay, so that's intentional. You need to be intentional. You need to be intentional. I would say the last time, you need to be intentional. And then from intentional, you move to the next. Be intonational. Intonational is from the word intonation. Intonation means the rise and fall of the pitch of the voice while you're speaking. Be lively, be engaging. Listen, be lively. Don't talk. You are in public speaking and you are talking as if you're having a bedside conversation, or you are talking as if you are in an interview. You know, when you go for an interview, the interview mode is activated. In an interview, even though all the interviewers want to laugh, you don't want to laugh because it is critical. You want to get the job. So that's why when you are talking, you are so very prim and proper and then calm and collected and reserved. Listen, in public speaking, be engaging, be lively. What do I mean by liveliness? What do I mean by being engaging? Have you ever listened to, let me use Wazobia FM for as a case study. You call someone like my good friend Akas Baba on radio when he was there. You say, who are the follow talk? Who they call me? He say, okay, now Maz. He say, hey, Maz, hey, how you doing now? He say, Akas, that my first time, oh. But look at how lively and engaging he was. Even though you say, okay, now your first time, oh, yeah, take chaka, 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 chaka. He's lively and engaging. That is public speaking. And I didn't say it. Broadcasting, that's public speaking. And that's why sometimes I used to be a presenter of Grammar Time with Grammar King in one radio station. They wanted to cage me in and say, no, you need to be formal. You know, it's a formal. You need. I said, no, trash formality. I'm not normal. Oh, I didn't tell you before, I'm not normal. Normal is boring. Normal is mundane. Normal is just dull. Normal is average. Normal is just that kind of existence of being normal. And I'm not abnormal either, because abnormal sucks. Abnormal is absurd. Abnormal is preposterous. Then what am I? I am super normal. I'm super normal. And I dare you say it every day. There's something we call the power of was it self-affirmation? Yes, self-affirmation. Say it every day, declare it every day, proclaim it every day. Say it to yourself while you're sleeping. You're saying it, and I'm the best in my business. I have the best to offer as far as this thing is concerned. I'm the best MC around. I am the grammar king. I am GCFR, grammar commander of the Federal Republic. But don't say it if you are empty. That's why I said something about submitting to mentorship. Get all the necessary issues that you need to trade tackles with. All the answers to every question, or most of the question, if you like, that will crop up in your public speaking endeavor. Read and read and read. Research and research and research. When you grab all this, you become an authority. Listen, and when you become an authority, you need to author a book. Authority is from the word author. That's why my very good friend, Fred Etumno, he has authored a book. And once you author a book, it confers on you an authority to speak as far as that area of concern is, area of endeavor is concerned. So if you want to have an authority in your sphere, don't just keep talking. Author a book, and that's why I have this book. You understand? Public speaking nuggets. I decided to imprison some of the things I've been talking about, imprison them, capture them, and put them in a book. That's it. So to be an authority, you need to author a book as far as this sphere is concerned. Okay, I have talked about it being intonational, the rise and fall of your voice. Be lively, be engaging. But listen up, ladies and gentlemen. While you're trying to be lively and engaging, don't be affectatious. Affectatious means you deform. Not a form. You can't sustain fakeness for 1 hour. Fakeness of speaking through your nose is not necessary. I beg you. It's not necessary. You say, what's your name? My name is Eza Kolam. That's my full name. And then I want to phonetize it. I want to anglicize it. I want to form it. I say, my name is Eza Kolam. My name is Eza Kolam. It doesn't make sense. My name is Eze Akolam. That's it. I am being natural. Not only am I being natural, I'm being original. And that's why I pity those who want to copy, whether it is any, I don't want to drop names, any of those super duper motivational speakers, transformational speakers, public speakers around. You don't need to ape any of them. Listen up. If you foolishly imitate another public speaker, you will be an imitation. I'll say it again. If you foolishly imitate, you will be an imitation. If you foolishly copy, you will be a photocopy. And ladies and gentlemen, for there to be a photocopy, there's an original. For there to be an imitation, there's an original. I dare you to be that original. Don't die a photocopy. You were born and created an original. So be an original. So retain your originality, retain your individuality, retain your credibility. You know what is credibility? Your believability. Once people hear it, they want to believe you because you're natural. They want to believe you because you're authentic. They want to believe you because you're original. They want to believe you because you're not affectatious. Fakeness is not your middle name. So you are just you, and the you that is in you is the you that makes you the you that you are. Come on, I'll say it again. I'm getting more excited tonight. The you in you is the you that makes you the you that you are. Let that you in you come out every time you want to roar like a lion. I've talked about intentional and then international. The next one is conscious. Conscious means awareness. Consciousness, awareness, be aware. Listen up, be aware. There are three, we call it the ACC of consciousness. ACC. What's the first A? Audience conscious. What's the second, the other C? Context conscious. What's the third? Content conscious. So audience conscious, content conscious, and context conscious. What does it mean? Let me break it down briefly, and then I'll say a last thing and I'll be out of your way, or I will entertain questions. Okay, listen up, audience conscious. I was once upon a time invited to come and teach. It was well, not teaching, it was a graduation ceremony of a particular school in downtown Oyibo where I grew up. So they invited me, SS3, they were doing their send off. I know some of you will say send forth. Send off is correct. They were doing their send off. Sorry. And they invited me to talk to SS3 students. I said, okay, I prepared my stuff, prepared the 6 Ds of an intentional lifestyle. 6 Ds, dream, decision, determination, discipline, and diligence and destination. The 6 Ds. So from dream, for you to get to your destination, which is the last D, you need to pass through decision. You decide, and then you get determined, determination. You bring in discipline, then you bring in diligence, which is working hard and working smart. And then you get to your destination. That's what I prepared. So immediately I go to the school, I step into the massive auditorium, very capacious, and I saw the entire school members were there gathered. It was a group of schools. So you had the primary section there, you had the secondary section there, you have the nursery section there, and all the teachers, everyone, they were gathered. I called the man that invited me, called him aside. I said, come on, why didn't you tell me? He said, does it matter? I said, oh, yeah, it does. It does. There's something we call audience consciousness in public speaking. If you tell me that the entire school is gathered, I will fine tune my message to suit every audience. But again, that's why you know a professional public speaker, your ability to adapt and blend with your environment like a chameleon. One of the characteristics of a living thing, we say it is what's the one that's a response to stimulus or response to stimuli. Irritability, that's it. When you're talking about Mr. Niger D, those are the characteristic features of a living thing. Mr. Niger D, the I there stands for irritability. Irritability means your ability to respond to external stimuli. So now I am confronted with a new audience now. What do I do? Do I freak out? No, I don't freak out. I speak out. Gentleman, lady, don't freak out, speak out when confronted with an audience because you showed up prepared. Okay, so I know that primary students, nursery students, talking about 6 Ds of an intentional lifestyle would just mean me talking to fulfill all righteousness. That's not an intentional and professional speaker. That's what you need to do. So I decided to mix songs. The best way to catch children when you're teaching them is to put whatever you're telling them into a song. I started with, if you're happy and you know it, say amen, amen. Of course, they can relate to the song. If you're happy and you know, please stand. Everyone stood. If you're not, stamp your feet, and so on and so on. I got them excited. And then that's why when you want to teach a child, you say 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door, 5, 6. You turn everything into music. They will relate with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's music. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I decided to tell them a story of my growing up days in Oyibo. That day, as I was telling them my story, I was bringing all those nuggets of intentional lifestyle, the 6 Ds. I'll tell a story. I said, because I had a dream. I'm now in my destination, sort of. I'm a lecturer in a federal government university, University of Port Harcourt. They said, hey, I said, hey, that's where I teach. Because I had a dream. A dream is a mental picture of a future reality, but I decided on the beauty of the dream that was before me, and I got determined. And then in my determination, I needed to work hard. That was diligence, of course. Discipline means the ability to tell yourself to do something and then stick to it and do it. The ability to behave yourself. The ability to say, I won't talk, and you won't talk. That's discipline. The ability to bend down, then study your book, and then get everything you want to get across. That's discipline. So by the time I finished telling them my little story, not something fantastic, but something enough to sow a fertile seed of a dream in the minds of my little audience members. And by the time I was done with telling my story, I told them another story of who pushed me. It's something I like rounding off with. I may share it tonight if there is time. Okay, so that is audience consciousness. Now look at context. Context means the environment where you're delivering a speech. The one I just cited now, look at the context. Meant not just SS3 students, just 1 to 3, SS1 to 3, primary school, then nursery school. The context, the environment was a school environment. I mean, I wouldn't go there and then begin to speak Igbo. It would be inappropriate. I was invited to a particular place in a was a rural area. I asked them, "You want me to speak English?" Yes. How many of the women here and the men here and the young men here, how many of you don't understand Igbo? They said all of them understood Igbo. I said, please allow me to speak Igbo because of the context. I mean, if I speak English, you will clap for me. But did you understand? Communication is said to take place when I, the encoder, I encode a message and send it through a code. The code is the language, and you are the decoder. Once it gets to you, you're able to decode. You're able to, once you understand it, and you give me a feedback, communication is complete. But if I enter anywhere and I speak and they applaud me, they clap for me, they did not understand me, no communication has taken place. You have just succeeded in wasting your 1 hour. Believe me, communication takes place when I speak, the sender sends, or I write, I send it, you read, understand and give a feedback. I speak, you listen, understand and give a feedback. Communication cycle is complete. Communication has happened. Otherwise, you can talk without communicating. And that's a sad thing to happen to a people. It keeps happening. People talk. Go to a newspaper stand now where they're arguing. Premiership, or Kano, oh, IPOP, oh, they argue endlessly. They are not making any grain of sense. If you talk and then you are not able to make any sense, well, the person you're arguing with can get something out of it. If the person gets anything out of it, that particular interaction, and then begins to argue again, fine, that's okay. Communication is taking place. But I'm just saying that most people talk, only a few communicate. Many people talk, only a few communicate. Okay, so you need to bring context into the picture. And then the last one is content. Content has to do with the message. Be conscious of your message. Be conscious of your context. That's environment. Be conscious of your content, your message, and be conscious of your audience members. I was invited somewhere to talk about, when rape and suicide were trending. And then a speaker came on and said, the thing is that we need to blame some of these girls for dressing indecently and being skimpily dressed. Are you kidding me? Immediately he said that. So many girls, they brought the roof down. And I have a friend, a student of mine, who suffered rape in the hands of robbers. How does that connect? If such an audience member is there, do you think she will take kindly to what you're saying? So you mind your content, you mind the context, and then mind your audience. I'm a professional master of ceremonies. Whenever I go to MC, and then the chairman tells me, like it happened once upon a time, it's okay, I should announce that the gentleman should kiss the bride. I say it's not part of me. I won't announce it. I mean, kissing of the bride, they did it in church. And here we are gathered, audience members, there are little children watching, everyone, and me? No, no, sir. No, sir, I won't do that. Because I am forever conscious of my audience members, my context, and then my content. I hope you get the point. So remember, we're talking about you being intentional, being intonational, being conscious. And then the last one is cautious. Cautious just means be careful. Be careful so that you don't step on somebody's ideological toes. Be careful you don't step. I've emceed a PDP convention. I mean, if you are if you follow me, most of my postings on social media, whether it's Facebook, for example, I'm super active on Facebook. You see, I keep hitting at the powers that be. Listen, our political class are not doing What they are doing is nothing to write home about. Somebody said, I think it's Paiki, they said our political office holders should just be rounded up and shot. That's extremist, but that's what it has come to. These people, no show of shame, no conscience, and they are not ruling. They're just after their own pocket. I'll say it here. So, but I was invited to a PDP rally. Now, it will be disastrously out of tune for me to come down and then begin to castigate the people that employed me. No, I mean, the occasion demands that I say some nice things about the personalities that are here present. So if I say, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome somebody who is not only phenomenally amazing, he is also amazingly phenomenal. He is not so awesomely super duper, he is also super duper amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the chairman of PDP XYZ. That's my job as a professional MC. Hype, direct the occasion, give every person a very good feeling about himself, make every person to have a high esteem of himself. That's your job as an MC. You don't go there and run people down. No, 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 you don't do that. So you will not say, because I said this, then when I get out of there, I will not tweet again and say that the APC will kill this country unless we kill APC. Even though I mean, if I feel so passionate about not going, I decline. I mean, it's not every assignment that I am given, even though there is a pay at the end of the day. It's not every assignment I accept. So I look at the merits or demerits of the whole thing, and I take a peek. I say yes or no. Ladies and gentlemen, let's sum up now. Last is practice this intentionally. Talk for free, then for a fee. I said it in one public speaking occasion I went, and then another heavyweight in the public speaking industry countered me. But it's still my opinion. Talk for free, then for a fee. I mean, added to this is what I call the principle of ask. You know what is ask? A-S-K. A, ask and you will receive. S, seek and you will find. K, knock, the door will open. It is extrapolated from Matthew 7:7. I call it the principle of ask. A-S-K. A, ask. S, seek. K, knock. Practice it intentionally in public speaking. Look at what I mean as I begin to round off. Remember, I said talk for free, then for a fee. There are 1,001 public speaking events happening around you as we speak. Your friend is either having a birthday celebration or there is a child dedication that is happening in the church, in your church. And after the celebration, what's the next thing? Reception. Offer to MC that reception. They say it's a child. They say, don't worry. Don't worry. I offer to MC it free because you are intentional. If you come there and MC it free, be professional about it. Bring out all the bullets from your arsenal and shoot from every cylinder, from every angle. Shoot. After shooting, I bet you somebody who is an audience member will see how well you packaged that event. When his own child is celebrating, he will invite you. You have succeeded in talking for free, then for a fee. This thing, too much sense will not kill me. Talk for free, then for a fee. Practice the principle of ask. Please ask. Your friend is about to celebrate something. Ask him that you may MC that wedding reception. And he tells you that there is another MC. You say, okay, let me go MC with that MC. Ask. If you ask, you will most likely receive. If you don't receive, you go to the next level. You seek. If it doesn't work, go to the next level and knock. Somebody said, if you knock loud and long at a particular door, the door must open. Somebody will answer the door. But we just give up too early and too easily. You are made of external stuff. You are not normal. You are super normal. So that's what we are talking about here. Talk for free, then for a fee. I'll tell you this story and then I'll wrap up. Hi. There's if you are following me closely on social media, also you see I'm making some intentional advertising concerning High Life International Company. I researched them, and then I heard that we are coming to Port Harcourt to do mega seminar. Yes, mega seminar, Port Harcourt mega seminar. I asked for a number of one of the organizers, and then I began to seek. And then when I sought, I found one of them. I called, I booked an appointment before the D-Day, and then I went there and I knocked. I said, sir, I want to MC this meeting. He said, no, we don't need an MC. I said, no, that's where you're wrong. You need an MC. Every event needs an MC. You see, the MC is the engine room of an event, is the pivot of the event. It's not about the DJ, it's not about the chairman of the event. No, the major person is the MC. He can make or mar an event. So I said, sir, you need an MC. And the difference between bakery and plantain chips is packaging. Let me package this for you. And by the way, I am the CEO of Public Speaking Academy. And that's what you have here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just. Okay. Okay, so I said, I am the CEO of Public Speaking Academy. And I brought out my card. Listen, packaging is key in this business. Oh, I don't have my business card. I would have shown you, but the business card is modeled after this book. This is the same picture I used in my business card. This same. That's why some people call me the double microphone king. Well, fine. So I gave him my business card. It is a two-edged sword. One side, Dr. Eze Ibekwe, Department of English, University of Port Harcourt. You turn the other side, public speaking coach, e-commerce coach, and then at public speaking academy.online, www. and so on. So I gave it to him. He said, well, since you said, but we are not going to pay. I said, don't pay. I'm not asking for money. I just want to organize it. No wahala. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, okay, I'll get back to you. He did get back to me because that's what you call pitching in public speaking. Pitch, P-I-T-C-H. I pitched it. And he went and told others. And he called me to say, okay, they have agreed that he will MC it. On that day, come on, I gave a superlative 5-star, phenomenally amazing and spectacularly awesome presentation. When I was done, their number one came all the way from Lagos to be part of that event. When I was done, he invited me to his suite upstairs. That was the suite, not suite. S-U-I-T-E, suite. So I went to his suite. He said, Dr. Maazi, that was fantabulous. I'm quoting him rightly now. He said, you said we shouldn't pay you, but can you manage $50? I said, hey, manage for all my life. I never touched dollar. He said, manage $50. I said, bring it. He said, but do me a favor. Use it and register in High Life. I said, it's game. Bring it on. And he gave me 50. No, $50. 100. Come on, $100. $100. At that point, it was about 40 something thousand that it exchanged for. 40 something thousand. He gave it to me. Why? Because I just dared to practice the principle of ask. And it was during this pandemic, just 3 months ago. So don't think it is last year. I am teaching as we speak. I'm teaching a reverend gentleman, a bishop of a church. I am teaching him professional public speaking to handle vast audiences. How did I? It is the principle of ask. I was coaching a lawyer the other time. The principle of ask, we just shared the podium. He had stuff, he had content, the man had content. He spoke before I did. When he finished, a large chunk of the audience members were already asleep. And it was at night. And when I came on, I electrified the audience. As I was done, I turned to him. I said, sir, you have super content, super duper presentation and powerful content will make you exceptional. I said, but is that super duper presentation that I can help you tweak? I can help you fine tune. That's asking. I said, I'm a coach. I coach people on this and look at my card. I waved it under his nose. He said, oh, you're a lecturer also. I said, yes, that's the job I do. And he signed up. That's asking. If I didn't ask, I will not receive. I asked him, let me be your public speaking coach. Let me mentor you in this direction. So that with this content that you just dropped, with exceptional super duper presentation style, Lady, gentleman, your sky is not a limit at all. The world is too small now. You can fly sky high. Don't stop flying until you grab a handful of clouds and a handful of stars. Aim and shoot. You hit a star and then become a star. These are pep talks, motivational speaking. I deployed, that's public speaking. And I landed a contract. And there's another guy I am teaching, also an owner of a school. I'm teaching him to do wonderful, powerful, professional presentation. So all these are all aspects of asking. So I'm not just a theoretician. I'm not a theorist only. I am also a practitioner. All the theories are contained in the book. So I'm not just a theoretician. I'm a practitioner. I practice on a daily basis. So the long and short of that story I was telling you, you see, that's what took me to Cotonou, that High Life International. I invested with that money, added a little to that particular money, and then I invested. Boom! From there, a little drops of water will make a mighty ocean. You know that as he's on strike, we've not been paid for more than 6 months, starting from March till now. Most people, lecturers, ASU members, have not got their pay. But when people are thinking of casting down, we are talking of lifting up. You understand? Because we are using this public speaking potential that we have, and we have turned our passion into profit. The four last eyes I will drop with you are: intentionality will help you to become a person of influence, and then you will widen your impact, and then income will come. I. We say don't have two eyes, have four eyes. You understand the eyes I mean? I into four places: intentional, impact. What's the other one? Influence, and then income. So be intentional, grow your influence, widen your impact, and then the money will surely come. Income will drop. That's what I believe it strongly. And now I'm an e-commerce coach. I am trading on that platform. And just in case you want to join my team, fine. Fred, my friend, don't be annoyed. Let me use this time and then I also advertise what I do. That's intentional public speaking, Abby. I teach you, I practice, and then I theorize. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Same time, same frequency, some other time for another interesting, super duper, amazingly awesome, awesomely amazing moment with the Grammar King himself, Dr. Mazi Eze, GCFR, Grammar Commander of the Federal Republic. Fred Etumnu, over to you. I am done. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Fred. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just leave for a moment and then I'll call Fred and then I'll get back to you. Thank you very much. Just in case you have any
Hello.
questions, that's why I will get back to you.
Oh, hello,
Oh,
hello, doctor.
okay.
Wow, wow. Thank you
Fred,
so much.
Fred the
But the
Great.
second, in fact, it's bomb. It's explosive. In fact, my you can see my jotter is even filled up writing a lot of things.
That's
Seriously,
fine.
thank you
It's
so
my
much. It's such
pleasure.
a
Thank you
fact. A
very
lot of
much,
things.
sir.
So many things. Talk about the IICC. Talk about the 6Ds. Talk about a lot of things. That in fact, my notes is filled up. The aim of public speaking and all that. Thank you so much. Just about, I think
Thank you,
one
sir.
question was there about that came up. Somebody who is the
Okay.
question that came up. Somebody who is an introverted person, but the person have this kind of, how can a person who is introverted kind of overcome this straight fright? Sorry, how can somebody who is naturally introverted overcome this straight fright?
Just get into intentional. Make up your mind. I want to overcome. That's it. That's number one. Then number two,
Okay.
submit to mentorship. See, in all my years of training people, a great majority of people who say they are suffering from introvertedness is a lie. It's not that they are introverts. They are suffering from fear of public speaking. That's it. They are suffering from fear of public speaking. And when I try to drag them out of their shell and show them how, boom, they explode. So the point again is, number one, be intentional. Make up your mind that I am going to speak. Even when I am afraid, I will speak afraid. Come on, I have content that the other person needs. I am an authority as far as this topic is concerned because I've done my preparation. I've done my all the we call it pre-speaking stages. Pre-speaking, first, think about a topic, brainstorm, prepare your delivery. Once you're done with preparing your delivery, then rehearse your delivery. Once you are done with rehearsing your delivery, visualize your delivery. Means form a mental picture of yourself on the day when you will be announced and how you step in and powerfully drop your point. Then on the day that you're supposed to speak, go ahead and then that mental picture you have created, go on stage and boom, you will explode. So for me, you see, the word introvertedness is just an umbrella term for fear of public speaking. There are people, yes, who are natural. You are not as quiet as I was growing up. Come and ask my mom. Even now, when we are in a crowd, I am usually a loner. I like staying all alone. Even in the house, I like locking myself in sometimes. I read, I theorize, I do my postings. I'm in a world of my own. So I am introverted. But when there is an occasion to present, I come out with the role of a lion. Why? Because I've done my due diligence. I've done my research. I grab all the things I want to say. I am the best man to talk about this topic. That's the mentality of a winner. So you who is an introvert, number one, be intentional that you want to come out of it. And then number two, do your research. And then once you are done with your research, please submit to mentorship. Submit to mentorship. Submit to mentorship. I can't stress this enough. Submit to mentorship. A mentor can teach you in 2 hours what a university cannot teach you in 4 years. Quote me. A mentor can teach you in 2 hours what a university cannot teach you in 4 years. Submit to mentorship. And then you see you coming crawling out of the shell of introvertedness. I hope that answers the question.
Wow, wow, that's perfect, Dr. Mazi. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, finally, the final question. Some they want to find out, like you talked about the first time when you went public speaking, when you had a public speaking encounter, that some people scolded you and you were feeling very bad that you had to go home and all that. So what about
That's
somebody
true.
who try to maybe do his best in terms of public speaking, but he keep getting discouragement from maybe friends around him or people around him. So how best can such a person handle such situation whereby people try to discourage him that you can't be better, you're not good at this. How best can such a person approach that such situation?
Oh, okay. One of the best ways to handle such a situation is to record yourself. Tape record yourself, or you have someone video record your performance. For me, essentially, before I go to address any audience, it depends on the audience. I first, like today, Fred, if you remember, when we chatted in the afternoon, I was in my office in Uniport because I know that I have a championship match tonight. I need to train. So I had to go to the office to prepare for this championship. Staying at home, I have a wife, I have a room, a house full of children, my mother-in-law, my own mother, and everybody's here. So I can't prepare for this championship. Staying here, I had to move out, get to the office, and then prepare. While I'm preparing, I'm recording my performance. Thank God for mobile phones. Just press the audio, talk, do your presentation, record it, play back, delete, do another one, play back, delete. By the time you do it 5 times, you have sharpened the rough edges. You could also do a video of yourself. Now, when you do it before an audience and people begin to castigate you, people begin to say you are a no good, people say, no, 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 Just forget public speaking. Record it now and then go back and watch your presentation. They are not the people who will tell you you are not good. It's a mentor that will tell you, no, here is loose, the screw here is loose, tighten it. This other side is loose, tighten it. This side is okay. That's why I keep saying submit to mentor. You need a mentor. So record the presentation and let them talk. When you're done with your presentation, you get back in the midst of the criticism. Play it yourself, watch the video yourself. And because you have been reading so many things about how to drop a super duper presentation, measure what you have read against your actual performance. If there are falling short, you will know. Then give it to a mentor or someone who is higher up the ladder, public speaking ladder, and say, please critique this. He will critique it and then do criticism constructively, so that naysayers will usually be there. If I were listening to naysayers, I will not be a public speaker today. Because if you call me on the phone, the people say, your voice is too weak. It's too weak. You sound like a woman. I say, na so, na natural now. Now natural. So what I go
Well,
do? I will still use it and then talk. The most important thing, can you hear me? Yes. If you can hear me, forget. I they use them. They talk like woman. I they make my little change. Little money they drop enter account. So let the people who are criticizing you, in fact, there's a point at which you get to their criticism will turn to advertisement. So while they're criticizing you, they're advertising you. So
wow,
they will usually talk. I don't send, as we say in country. So be sendless. Do your thing,
wow,
keep improving, be sendless. Be sendless. Sendless no be
wow,
correct
wow.
grammar.
This is
Na Port Harcourt boy. I grew up
this
for
is
Port
this is
Harcourt.
this is wow, amazing, amazing. This is amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Mazi. We would have taken
Thank
more
you, sir.
questions, but a lot of but the time, because of time, we are really so grateful. We don't know. You talk about mentorship. A person that wants you to mentor him or her. So, can you tell us how can people get into maybe a mentorship, your academy, or other? I saw your book as well. Someone want to get your book. How can they get your book? How can we get into your academy and things like that? So, what are these things? And are there any special offer you have for people who are in this forum? So this yeah, the floor is yours now.
Okay, I say when you pay some money, you pay attention. I'll say it again. In the school of public speaking, when you pay some money, you pay attention. So I don't give free mentorship. I don't. I have an academy, public speaking academy. So there are two packages there: advanced public speaking, and then the other one is professional public speaking. So where we talk about how to overcome glossophobia, how to master the act of delivering with fear. I'm not an apostle of be fearless. No, I said deliver with fear. Let fear be there, but go ahead and do your thing. As you're doing your thing, the fear will leave you. So, and then we also talk about elocution, intonation, pronunciation. These are all parts of elocution, suprasegmental features of speech. So these are things we teach in the academy. There is the 50,000 naira package and there is the 70,000 naira package. Professional public speaking is 70,000. The other one is 50,000. And this is a 2-month long course. 2 months. By which time that when we are done with you, you roll like a lion and fly with the swiftness of an eagle. So that's just it. The reason is me, I invested heavily. I paid heavily in dollars to learn public speaking from my mentor in Canada. So anybody who is learning it, it's not free. Why? Free things they put belly now, and when you pay attention. Pay
Mm,
money, you pay attention. So that's the way it is. And then the book, anybody who wants to get the book, I think I have limited copies in the office. I don't have any market and marketing the books. Fred, you now, you be big boy now. Your own day Amazon. Your own day enter Amazon. My own never enter. So if you need it, you just come and get it from me. That's it. You get it from
okay.
Mazi Eze.
Okay. So how much does
They
it
can
go for?
always Yeah, 2,000 only.
Okay, okay, okay,
Just 2,000.
okay,
But for people who are here, I I could let it go for 1,000.
okay, okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So since I have your contact, I can reach you. So there's I want to contact you. Any person that will need the either the course or the book, I'll be able to contact you for that. So thank you very much. We are really so grateful. We're really so grateful.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Yeah, we are
It's
really
my
grateful. Thank you
pleasure.
for everything you've done. We are really grateful. So I will see
Yes.
you at the back end so we can leave the live show now. Thank you so much. Yeah,
It's all right.
thank you. Okay, let me see you
We'll
at the
say
back end.
namaste.
Namaste. Yeah, namaste. Thank you very much. We are so grateful. Let me see you at the back end. Thank you so much, Doctor. We are
Okay.
so grateful.